What is up, fucks? It is I, Jets, and we're here to talk about something tonight. I do not have a video for you because I'm pretty sure if I added the video or the documentary, I got most of my info, I would get a copyright strike. So I'm going to show you some pictures from it and we're going to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure you guys really don't want to watch the shit I watched. Trust me. But anyways, have you ever thought about something and really wanted to know more about it, even though it has no bearing on your life? You're not going to be tested on it or anything. You just were curious. That happens a lot to me. And sometimes I wish I really wasn't curious. And this is one of those moments. We all talk a lot about Amberlynn Reed and why sometimes she gets sexual with the food. We talk about feeders. So I got curious about feeders. Come to find out, that is something that I just should never have looked up. Trust me on that one. Still having some nightmares. I watched a documentary just to figure out what it was all about. And again, wish I hadn't. The documentary is called Fat Girls and Feeders. I didn't name it, I swear to God. And I come to find out that it is a dangerous subset. The main thing is called FA, Fat Admiration, or Fat Admirers. That is normally what it's called for a man who loves large women or is sexually attracted to them. They love to be with them. They're attracted to them because of their size, the texture of their skin, the softness, not being able to put their arms around them. You get the point. And it's just what they're attracted to. They find themselves enjoying the company of all of them. It's not really much about their personalities or anything of that nature. It is their bodies. These people, fat admirers, they're not about making them bigger. They just admire big women. It's not really that bad. They're just drawn to them. Now, feeders in those communities are seen as almost abusers. They're in the fat admirers category because that's what it is, but they're more, I guess you would call them sicker types of the group. It's almost like saying that husbands that beat their wives are abusive types of husbands. That's kind of what it's like. They're actually looked down on in that actual group of people horribly. Fat admirers like big women. They think they're beautiful. It's kind of cute. It's wonderful. In this documentary, they talk to a married couple. The woman, who's the larger one, is named Gina. She grew up in California, and as we all know, California is a very beautiful place and full of very skinny, beautiful women usually. She wasn't that way. She took out an ad in the single section in a newspaper just to try and find anybody because she was single for a very long time. And that's when she was found by a feeder by the name of Mark. He had been attracted to larger women since he was young, which his mother thought was weird, so she made him go to therapy. And we find out later, rightfully so. He found Gina through that personal ad, and they got married. And over the course of their 10-year marriage, he was able to get her to gain If I remember correctly, it was 400 pounds. I shit you not. She was actually in the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest model ever. He was able to actually make her bedridden. He made videos of her to sell to other feeders. He made instructional videos of how to take care of her when she became bedridden. And he actually, surprisingly, made a video dedicated to the last time she ever took her steps out of bed. Almost like glorifying it, that he actually made her bedridden. It was kind of sickening, honestly. And this poor woman, Gina, because she loved him and felt happy that someone was finally thinking of her as beautiful, continued doing this. But you could tell in the documentary that the more and more she became bedridden and large, she became more and more depressed. In this documentary, it was kind of getting hard to watch as you saw her get bigger. Her husband got happier and happier, but she became more and more hurt. It was kind of painful to watch. You feel sorry for her. It was really hard to understand why the husband kept feeding her, but you could tell why she kept getting larger. There was also a woman in this documentary who was a larger woman who was modeling. And because so many of these FAs, fat admirers, were paying her so much attention, she enjoyed being big. Actually, one of her fans gave her so much admiration that she ended up going out with one of them. And as much as he protested it to not being a feeder, she felt safe enough to move in with him. And as you can guess, he turned out to be a feeder. She ended up becoming bedridden, and he pretty much kept her hostage in his home. He would leave her in an upstairs room, which she couldn't walk anymore. He would leave her there for hours, maybe days on end, with nothing but fatty junk food within arm's reach that she could eat, as a way to pretty much give her no choice but to gain more weight. She almost died. She kept in contact with her mother, and she was able to get her mother, along with some policemen, paramedics, and I think firemen, to cut her out of the man's house and take her to intensive care. The doctor said she probably only had 24 hours or so left to live. She had septicemia and a few other illnesses from being bedridden and left to eat junk. She was very lucky, but she is now bedridden permanently and will never be able to recover. Feeders are thought of in the FA community as being pretty much domestic abusers, quite crafty ones. They understand that usually larger women are, I don't want to say desperate, but unloved usually. It is very hard to watch most of the things that I watch to get a feel for this. Now, they also show you a couple of other FAs that are not like this, that actually do enjoy the company of larger women, support them, love them. It's kind of nice. But when you talk to the larger women who come in contact with feeders, you start to see that they still get preyed upon. Even though they're still getting admired by people, they get preyed upon by feeders also. It is kind of eye-opening to a horrible degree. Well, as far as Mark and Gina go, after 10 years of marriage, she made it to the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest model. She had to adopt a child because she couldn't have children. Not that it was she couldn't have children as in her stuff wasn't working. It was physically impossible with her weight and her legs and everything like that. There's no way he could reach it, I guess you could say. So they adopted a child. And Gina decided, since she was bedridden, that she didn't want to die and leave her child alone. And she says in the documentary herself that her husband Mark couldn't be on his own, so he would remarry. And she didn't want anyone else being called mommy by her daughter. My thought was that the husband might take it upon himself to then maybe start making the daughter fat also, which was my fear. Towards the end of the documentary, you see Gina, and she's lost weight. She decided, the whole thought of dying and leaving her daughter, that she couldn't be fat anymore. So she got life-saving surgery and began to lose weight. She had stomach surgery, just so she could try to be there for her daughter a little bit better. So now she's not bedridden anymore. Her husband, though, is constantly talking about her getting bigger again. He keeps a scrapbook of all the pictures of her as she got larger. And when he showed it off during the documentary, he seemed extremely proud that he got her that big. It's like he was showing off his brand new car that he built himself. It was extremely disturbing. It was even more disturbing to hear Gina say that when she started getting smaller, he became less interested in her. They had to get marriage counseling because he found her less attractive as she started to lose weight. I guess I don't understand. He found her so attractive before, but now he found her gross, as she said he put it. Well, they're still married today. You could tell. He's very displeased with the size she's at. Another thing he was quite displeased with was that she didn't need him as much. Another thing with the feeders is when they become bedridden, the larger person needs them, and it's good to feel needed. He was happy that Gina was completely and utterly dependent on him. It made him feel special and wanted, almost like Munchausen by proxy. Now that she's trying to do things for herself and get up and get moving, he seems more unhappy. He has a very punchable face. Let me put it that way. I don't know why she's still married to him, honestly. I'm going to put I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link for the documentary down in the bottom. If you guys want to go ahead and take a look at it. It'll give you a new view of the whole feeder and fat admiration shit. Kind of gives you a new view of what Amberlynn's doing. It makes me know why she has so many followers and why people are so excited about mukbangs. So now when she does mukbangs, I'm not as surprised at all. I believe now that she really is getting requests for these. Seriously, I understand now. And it's disgusting. It really is fucking disgusting. And for these people should be fucking ashamed of themselves. And if I was her, I wouldn't fucking do it. But of course she'll do anything for fucking cash. I'm gonna get out of here. This documentary was extremely hard to watch. I'm sorry this isn't funny. But, when you ask questions, you get answers. And sometimes it's not the answers you want. Sometimes it makes you throw up a little in your mouth, like this did. God, I hate mukbangs now. A lot. But you know what? I'm going to leave you with something funny. In the end of the documentary, Gina and Mark were saying goodbye. And Mark did some dumbass shit. And I'm going to let you see it, and that is going to be my goodbye. So here you go. Like, subscribe, share, but if you don't, it's fine. I'm going to be sitting here, rubbing the thoughts out of my brain for the shit I just seen. Talk to you guys later. Be nice to each other. Stay off the ho-hos, Krispy Kremes. Go walk around a little bit. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.